的理会长 Wilson， 还有我们的全联邦主席 Edward Gore， 今天非常高兴参加美洲同源总会，非常高兴从纽约来跟大家一起庆祝 CACA 对我们全美国华人社区 Chinese American 的贡献。作为一个第二代的 ABC， 我也非常感谢大家提高我们华人在美国的声音，提高我们的滋味，非常感谢大家支持今天所有在位的华人的议员。I ran out of all the Chinese words that I can say, so I'm going to continue speaking in English. But I really wanted to be here, not so far away in New York, but to congratulate CACA on the amazing work that you've done, not just on the East Coast, but across the country. I'm also especially honored to join my colleague and my good friend in Congress, Congresswoman Catherine Clark, who we will hear from in a little bit. We spend a lot of time together in Congress, whether it's working or just having friendships, and I've learned so much about Boston and being a great mom and being a great congresswoman from Catherine. I'm honored to be here today, and I think as we see all the people around the room, I really do want to especially acknowledge, it's such a good problem today that I don't even want to take time to acknowledge all the AAPI elected officials because we have so many with us here today. But especially to our honorees, to Michelle Wu, who made history not just in Boston, but we've been reading about her across the country. Michelle Wu, Boston City Council President, that sounds so good to say. To Leland Chong, Cambridge City Councilor. To Lina Yang, Quincy City Councilor at Large. And Greer Tam Swissman, former Union City Councilor. Thank you so much for honoring them and the great work that they do. And to all our essay contest winners as well, congratulations, and thank you to CACA for supporting our young people. You know, it's great to be here, and I do want to give a plug because this year is an election year. And I'm going to tell you, at this event at least, who to vote for, but I will tell you, we can talk about that outside because I have an idea. Catherine, I was going to say first. But I really want to encourage our community to come out and vote this year's elections. It is a critical year. No one knows who you vote for, but everyone knows who votes. And so, at all levels of government, we can see how many people and what percentage of the AAPI community and all communities come out to vote. The AAPI community is the fastest growing ethnic population in this country. By the year 2040, 1 in 10 Americans will be of Asian descent, and 1 out of 3 of those will be an eligible voter. And it's important to vote. It's important if you are not eligible to vote, it's important to call your family, and your friends, and your neighbors, because it's very important that our voice is heard. You know, in New York, when I first got elected to the New York State Legislature, I proposed a bill that would make Asian Lunar New Year a school holiday. Many people thought I was crazy. Even some of my own Chinese American friends and family thought I was nuts, and they told me to work on something more practical. But because of our population and our community's growing strength, just last year, our Mayor de Blasio in New York City officially made Lunar New Year a school holiday for all public school students. So I tell that story because of the importance of getting involved and the importance of speaking up and speaking up at the ballot box. Just a few weeks ago, one of my bills got signed into law, and this was a bill that Catherine Clark helped pass and worked on it with me in Congress. And it's actually sort of a symbolic law that removes the usage of the word Oriental, and in some leftover places the words like Negro and Eskimo and other words, removes them from our federal code because those words were still in there. And words matter, and we need to tell people that, at least in the federal government, that words matter, and to change that language. Another issue that we're working on is to ask the U.S. Postal Service to create a stamp in commemoration of Chinese railroad workers. Many people don't know this, including myself, as a Chinese American kid growing up in America, never learned in school that Chinese workers helped build our country. And at a time when this country was not yet fully built, whether it's commerce or transportation, Chinese Americans made huge contributions to our economy and to the infrastructure of our country. And so we've been working with many groups, and I want to thank CACA as well for their help in hopefully making this happen in time for the 150th anniversary. Last but not least, I want to talk about the importance of a pipeline. And it's a pipeline of whether it's to show the importance in the halls of government, which Massachusetts seems to be doing a great job of, or whether it's in our large corporations around the country. Our country is about 6% Asian American, but out of our Fortune 500 companies, out of all those board seats, only a little less than 3% of them are of API descent. And so we need to make sure that Asian Americans are not just being hired at the entry and mid-levels, but that they're also given the opportunities to rise up and to be represented at the table. And so whether it's in government, whether it's in our corporations, I just wanted to be here to continue to encourage our community to speak up, to be engaged in our community, in voting, in all aspects of life here in Boston or just all throughout America. Your voice matters, and I really wanted to be here to just pay tribute and honor all the elected officials who are here today. I know we have folks from all around the country, but really thank you for supporting them. Thank you for supporting them so that they could have a voice representing our community to make a difference and improve the quality of life of Chinese Americans and people all across our country. So thank you for having me. If you're in New York or DC, please come visit. Thank you for your attention.